Meanwhile in Yemen, devastating information about the state of their ability to provide even basic health services to people living there, especially children. The spokesperson for Yemen's Ministry of Public Health and Population says that one child dies on average every 5 minutes in Yemen, and nearly half of their health facilities are out of service as a result of the Saudi war. By the way, for context, one child dies every 5 minutes. I did a little bit of research and I found this article from December 2016 that said, according to UNICEF, one child was dying every 10 minutes. So despite years in which the world or the United States could have tried to do something, put some sort of diplomatic pressure on Saudi Arabia to stop this, to try to stop them, as we'll get to, from maintaining this blockade that's making it impossible for them to rebuild these facilities. It is actually twice as bad as it was just a few years ago. And that is a result of the total destruction or partial damage of 527 different hospitals. You have 8,000 women dying on a yearly basis in Yemen. More than 2.6 million children suffering from malnutrition, 1.5 million people grappling with chronic diseases. And so the issue is that if they need to go somewhere else to get medical treatments, they can't. There's a blockade. And if they need medicines and equipment and those sorts of things, they can't get it because there's a blockade. There's an acute shortage of medicine for oncology patients. And so what's left becomes rarer and more expensive as a result of it. So the U.S. has made all this, kicked up all this sand about the fact that we're not providing some weapons and some support to Saudi Arabia, but we need to speak out in support of the people there. Diplomatic pressure to end the blockade, get Saudi Arabia to stop bombing Yemen into the rubble that we showed you.
Well, sadly, it seems to be another instance of a lack of addressing these types of things because it doesn't benefit us. Us being the powers that be, the natural progress of the country and the partnerships that we have. And honestly, a lot of us citizenry, me included, I miss a lot of this stuff. There's 35 other things that I end up paying attention to.
That's true.
You hear about the Yemeni blockade, you hear about the people in Yemen dying and children at this type of scale for this many years. And you think about it, get upset, say something, and then the next thing that just got you that hits close to the home is the thing that you're concerned about. And that's the cover that they depend on. And so this is when our government and our leaders are supposed to be, that's why we have these coalitions, groups of people that are supposed to be set aside to address these things. Because it's hard for all of us to know this and for us to push this in. Sorry, we don't have much time, go ahead.
I know, but I appreciate what you said. And this is why we keep returning this. I can't tell you how many times we talked about this, and unfortunately progress has been very slow. Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.